Hello everyone and welcome to the week 4 update of the Nordic Lavender Smart Garden 9 project. Let's start by taking a quick look at the plants we're growing. You can see the chili is coming along nicely. We're seeing true leaves. The Pak Choi is growing. We don't see that much of a difference, but it is still growing well. The basil doing well. You can see 2 plants there. And then the third over in the corner, right over here. And we will get back to that later. As you can see, the lettuce is doing extremely well. And then we can also see a big change in the tomato. On a general note, I have had to reposition some of the plants, or have to. I decided to do that, and we will get back to that in a bit. And I also had to fill the tank once this week. So let's move on. I don't know if you can see, but my lettuce plant here, one of the lettuce plants is kind of growing into my one and only tomato seedling. And what I'm going to do here is I'm simply going to switch places for 2 of my plant pots. I'm going to switch place for one of my lettuces with one of my basils. And that is not very difficult to do. All we're going to do is that we're going to move in here and we're going to make sure that we lift our basil pot, just like that. Then we move in here with our other hand and we lift up our lettuce. We move the lettuce over, just like that, and click it in place. Then we switch hands here and we grab our basil pot. We gently move the leaves of the lettuce plant. Click the basil into place and we're done. Now, was this a necessary move? To be honest with you, I don't know. I think that all plants would have been fine. I think they would have found the light and they would have grown just fine. Still, this way I feel like I'm maximizing, I'm getting full light here now. And that's what I want on this tomato seedling. Did I create work for myself? Probably. I'm pretty sure the system would have self-adjusted, but there you have it. Sometimes we just want to be more involved than we need to be. And this is truly a hands-off solution. So take it for what it is, and see you soon again. As you can see here, the Red Pak Choi is growing really well, and it's grown to the extent that it's actually casting a bit of a shade on the chili seeding. So what do? We simply swivel it around and find a position where all plants get full light. As you can see, the lettuce is growing quite rapidly and it is taking up more and more space, and I'm pretty sure that I could get some more growth out of this lettuce pod, but I have made the decision to actually harvest this lettuce, and I'm going to plant something else in those 2 plant pods. And to harvest, again, I take out my trusted little tool here and I just look for the base of the plant. I go in close and I simply snip to remove the leaves. And I'm going to do the same with the second plant, and then I'll see you back here in a bit. As you can see, both lettuce plant pods have now been harvested, and we have some lovely lettuce here, and I can report that it tastes wonderful, really fresh and nice, and I'm looking forward to having this for dinner later tonight. What's left to do now is, of course, to take out the plant pod. We snap off the lid, just like so. And then we simply lift out the plant pod, and that is a pot-bound plant for sure. And here we can actually see that had this been grown in a true hydroponic grow system, these roots would have been spread throughout the container here underneath. But since we are using a wick system, where the wick actually transfers the moisture into the plant pod, we are limiting the plant's growth, which is also in effect limited by the distance to the light. So it's a good system and it works well for what it's designed to do. But it is an interesting thing to notice now when I look at it for the first time. And actually, I'm going to remove the plant pods for both these lettuce plants. And instead, I thought we would try to grow rockets. And instead of using plant pods, I thought it would be fun to use vermiculite, which is a soil amendment I will show you a bit later. And what I've done is that I've taken regular vermiculite and I run it through a sieve like this. Yes, and I did that outside just to get rid of all the dust. When you work with vermiculite inside, it should be moistened. I don't know if you can see, but it's still dripping a bit here because this has been pre-moistened. And I've also made sure then that all the dust has been removed. So I'll get back to you in a bit when these plant pods no longer hold the lettuce pods and they are filled at least to, I would say, 3/4 with vermiculite. So see you in a bit. As you can see, I have removed both lettuce plant pods and they are both truly pot bound. But before I put vermiculite into the plant pods, I would just like to show you, if it's possible, I'm going to see here. If you see at the bottom there, you can see a little bit protruding. That is actually the wick. And you can see it's actually not level with the surface. And that is the moisture delivery system. And I've made sure that it's actually sticking up, I would say 1/2 centimeter or so, to be able to transfer the moisture to the vermiculite. This is the first time I test vermiculite in this system, so I hope that will be enough, but time will tell. The plant pod holders have now been filled with pre-moistened vermiculite, and I have changed the plant labels from lettuce to arug for arugula or rocket, as you may know it. And next I'm going to place about 5 to 7 seeds in each pod, then cover with 1/2 centimeter or 0.2 inches thick layer of vermiculite, reapply the lid, and then we should be good to go. There, I have now put the seeds in each pod, and what's left to do is to cover it with a lid and then of course put the germination dome on top. Now some of the seeds are going to be under this plastic lids, so I'm going to have to keep a lookout for seeds to germinate, and when they do, I will remove the plastic lid. I chose to use vermiculite over potting soil as vermiculite is cleaner. It has excellent soil moisture retention, and like I said, I think that had I used potting soil, it would have just messed up the system, would have made it very dirty, and I kind of like the system and it looks really nice and it sits inside our living space, so I want the system to look nice and clean. One challenge with vermiculite though is that it's inert. It holds no nutritional value whatsoever. That is no problem for the seeds right now because there's enough energy in the seeds for them to germinate or sprout and germinate. But as the plant starts to grow, I will need to supplement with some kind of fertilizer if I want the plant to grow strong. And my plan is to use slow release pellets like these. I've done that before with success when I have started seeds in Vermiculite. And I will watch the plants as they progress, and this will be my, so to speak, backup solution if I see stunted growth or not the development that I'm used to seeing. So we'll see, but that is at least my plan. As you can see, our Smart Color 9 is looking quite differently coming out of this week than it did when we started. And to look closer at the individual plants, the chili is doing great. We're seeing true leaves. The Red Pak Choi continue to grow, showing beautiful colors and growth. The basil is doing well, and we're really starting to see compact growth. Our tomato plant has really taken off this week, and we're starting to see a young plant forming, so that's very exciting. And then last but not least, we planted rocket or arugula seeds in vermiculite, where we used to grow the lettuce that we harvested this week, and we are really looking forward to see how that will develop. So see you next time, and if you liked the video, please leave a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like our materials.